eyebrow.
Oh, you got some schmutz, man.
Get your schmutz out of your
May just need to
schmize.
be.
Look at
I
me.
think you got it.
Look at me.
Yeah, it's gone.
Look at me.
No, it's kind of there.
Get it.
May just be an eyebrow. It's a little whack.
I think it's an eyebrow that's whack.
Let's go. I don't know if that did anything. All right, let's get going. It sounds good, my ears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired.
my god.
Oh my god.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Say, oh my god. Poop duty. Poop duty.
Pope Dory.
Oh my gay.
Oh my god.
This is 621.
Yeah, that's the number.
Oh my gib.
Oh my gay.
Fantastic.
All right. You guys ready?
You two need to wake up, man.
Yeah, wake up.
Slap your own nut sacks.
Wake up.
How was your family? man? Are they better?
Yeah, we're on the mend. Oh, I don't think you. Everybody, shut up.
Okay, shut the up.
I know. I hate that we can't do
You
that.
can't do it anymore.
All right, here we go.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Abrines. I'm not miffed and peeved. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and peeved. Hello, I'm Alex Abrines. I'm not miffed and peeved. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Good morning and welcome to episode 6. 2. 1 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on CLNS Media, DailyThunder.com-radio, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or, of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcasts. I am Luke. Join this morning by Andrew.
Man crew.
Taylor.
Here's a situation. I've been to every nation. Nobody's ever made me feel the way that you do. You know my motivation, given my reputation. Please excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but man crew.
And Jay.
It's Jay. I'm proud of you for remembering the man crew part. That's always the hard part. It's like he's
That
gonna
is
lose
it.
that.
Well, he doesn't change it that much. It's always it's very slightly
Slam. I would say slam through probably too often.
slam
Yeah.
through is
What song? What's the? Give me the chorus on that.
classic.
tonight I'm can you.
I don't know that song.
Makes me so sad. You know.
Oh,
the
tonight
whole-
I'm loving you. Enrique Iglesias.
That's
man.
pretty good.
The original is a bad word. It's crazy.
Mm.
Look it up.
Oh my god.
Don't look it up,
people.
If you're a child.
If I'm listening to any Enrique Iglesias, I'm listening to Give It Just One Night, Una Noche. Not that. But I'm an originalist. Hey guys,
Purist.
Thunder basketball.
Originalist.
So the Thunder destroyed the Kings the other night with
Felt
one
really-
point guard.
Felt really good.
What do you guys think when Schroeder? Here's okay. I don't think I've heard this discussed, but
you said it to me.
I think that it was a huge blessing that
was.
both point guards were suspended because we all know what would happen if Ray Felton was the backup point guard. And so it was just the biggest blessing in disguise that it was not only. I wonder if the Thunder even called the league office. It was like,
Hey, if you're
They were
gonna
like, you know,
suspend Schroeder, just suspend Ray as
right,
well.
Schroeder's suspended. And they're like, you're going to want to take a look at that tape
Yeah,
again.
they send their own video
Right.
evidence against Ray to the league.
Because Ray was also doing that. They're like, oh, you're right.
We know Dennis stepped across the line, but are you sure Raymond didn't? Why don't you
Well,
look at that a little bit
What's
more?
crazy is that Diallo, by the law, by the book, should have been suspended as well, but he wasn't. Which I don't know. We don't have to go over that. But
But Diallo had the weirdest Kings game. Like he was more erratic than he's been in a long time. Like he wasn't really, I don't know. He just didn't feel like it was really. He didn't play as because the last time they played the Kings, it was without question the best game of the season.
Yeah.
He hit like 3, I think, or 4, maybe corner threes, and so the expectations for that guy are going to be the biggest problem he's gonna have to walk through because he's so good, and when he doesn't, and he was still fine in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
he had like a really weird fast break that he tried to do too much. And I don't know.
Well, he got called for an offensive foul that wasn't an offensive
And he was
foul.
so
Right.
mad. And then got a
Should have
technical,
been mad.
which
Yeah.
Billy Donovan got mad at him, and I don't know. He was just kind of more erratic than he has been most of the season. But it was, I mean, come on, it didn't matter.
He's a rookie. He'll have those nights.
Yeah, and it didn't matter because the Thunder just stomped the Sacramento Kings. 132-113 was the final score. If it wasn't for Buddy Hield and I think he had 37 points.
You're correct.
It would have been
Or was it 36?
It was 37.
That's my say what stat of the week. Buddy Hield's age. Did you read that article?
Yeah,
Did you see
I just
that?
saw that yesterday.
He came out yesterday and admitted or confessed or said that the age. So the Kings, everybody, even OU, when he played at OU, had his age 1 year less than it actually is.
Yeah, they thought he was turning 25.
And he's like, no, I'm actually 26.
I'm actually 26, that's not a good error to make.
You know who I bet that is the most mad?
Serge
People
Ibaka.
that played against him in like high school and middle school, and they're like, I knew it. I knew he was a year
I
older.
knew he was 15 when I was 14. Is there much difference in that? I guess so.
But he was saying, he was like, we didn't tell anyone that. They just came to that conclusion themselves. So we just let it happen. I mean, if you're in his position, though, I would also just let it happen because it benefited him.
He's still a liar.
Yeah. He's older than like Bradley Beal and
Yeah.
Marcus Smart and guys like that have been in the league forever, which is really kind of crazy.
I mean, Buddy stayed. I mean, he was in at OU for 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's also part of it. But for me, it does matter in some sense. But the dude's going to have a great pay day whenever he comes up. Like it may not be. I mean, somebody just paid Chris Paul,
but can you
at
trust
75 years
Can't
old?
trust him.
Oh,
Can't trust him.
yes.
He's a liar.
Oh, he's a big liar.
I can't trust
now.
Buddy now.
Yeah,
Liar.
but that would be funny. I don't think that's real, but Buddy is literally like one of the most like genuinely nice guys in the NBA.
Nobody thought I murdered them, so I just went ahead and
Yeah.
just
Those are the
about
guys
it.
that you expect. Yeah. Well. So since we've last talked to you, they played Denver last Friday night and got beat in a weird game. Thunder just couldn't make anything.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago.
It does. And then they back-to-back played the Clippers at home. And I thought that was a really good win. I know they didn't have Lou Williams, but the Thunder still played really well. And the final score ended up being 110-104, but it was a way bigger margin than that. They just had to, come back there towards the end. Then they just destroyed Chicago, took out all of their anger for losing to them in Chicago on them. And then they played that Sacramento game is probably them. I mean, I don't know. They're on a 3-game streak. I think that was the game that I was not most nervous, but I was pretty nervous about it because the Kings just for some reason the way they play just
Well, they haven't played it well in Sacramento in years. It feels like.
Yeah, true.
Like they got beat in Sacramento last year.
Yeah, and the way the Kings are playing this year, and just the speed, like the Thunder haven't matched their intensity in the first 2 times they played, and Shumpert went crazy at the beginning, and you just saw just a very distinct way that the Thunder engaged from the beginning. And the other thing to remember, and this is crazy that I'm even saying this, is in the second game was Terrence Ferguson's first game back, and he rolled his ankle in like the first 3 minutes of the game. And he made a tremendous difference for this team against the Kings.
He's great. He had 14 points, hit some threes.
He had 14 shots too.
He
That was
did
like
have
the
14
most.
shots.
That's the most shots I've ever seen him take.
Yeah. I mean, with Schroeder gone, there's a lot of shots available.
That's true.
So, but yeah, he played a great game. I think the Sacramento Kings, I think that De'Aaron Fox really screwed himself with that interview that he had with Chris Haynes, saying that he's faster than Russell Westbrook. Russell was so funny. Russell's so great. And I hate that people don't like him because he's so much fun. Because once he gets that layup and he's running back, I'm real fast.
He said,
I'm too fast. And he's yelling at the bench, screaming it. Like that is what the NBA is all
He was
about.
clearly on a mission from the start of the game to like bully him or just get by him
to prove how fast he was.
Yes.
And he was rocking the baby hard.
Paul George rocked
the baby.
George.
That is so like this team is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's night and day different. They're 20-10. Paul George is playing the best basketball in the NBA right now.
He's absolutely absurd right now.
Ridiculous to where every shot that goes in, I'm like, oh.
Past 5 games, 31 points per game. He's 40 some odd percent. I tweeted something out yesterday about it, but it was he's playing. He really is playing at an MVP level. If he can sustain this for any length of time, I mean, he will legitimately be in the MVP conversation because he's in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation already. But he could be there in April. Like that could really happen if he can play like this because he's playing the best basketball of his career. Russell Westbrook is allowing him to do that in a lot of ways.
And that's the narrative that feels like it's gaining some steam in the NBA media world, is the fact that people are noticing that Russ is really trying to change his game.
Yeah.
It feels like it's at least getting
It is
a little more
being acknowledged now for sure. I agree.
And it should be because he's way different on both ends. I've never seen him this engaged on the defensive.
What do you
end.
have? 6 steals against Kings, 5 against the
I think he's had
Bulls.
17 in the past 3 games.
Someone
Isn't that
sent,
crazy?
Someone sent us. He is the top defensive rating right now. I think.
Which I asked Andrew what that stat means. It's a very, the individual one is always
It's a
kind of
BS
weird
stat.
Yes, it is.
Hassan Whiteside is second. Okay, like that tells you everything you need to know.
It does.
Yeah,
it's
the best,
real.
They're the best 2 defenders.
True.
Yeah,
in the
I mean, it
NBA.
makes sense. to me.
I mean, individual defensive numbers, there really aren't any good ones.
Right.
People like if you're using them, you don't quite understand them.
Same for individual plus minus on like in single
Game by
games.
game.
Oh, it's yeah.
But I
it's
think
useless.
we have the first real one because Paul George was a plus 29.
Yeah.
And the next behind him was Patrick Patterson with 12. All the other starters were 10, 5, 8, and 7.
Yeah.
Paul George was 20. Usually they're all close.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone who plays together. That was real, man.
There was
awesome.
And there was definitely a moment in the third quarter where the Kings were making a run and Paul George went to the bench and they got within 8.
Yeah.
Paul George comes back in.
That was a huge moment for that team because last season, definitely the season before, you have this big lead and it shrinks to 8. You know that it's going to be last season's team. That game would have been tied with a minute left.
Yep.
I mean, guaranteed.
Yep.
And
So
Paul is just a different player this year.
They really engaged defensively, got the ball back, made a couple good shots. Like, I don't know. This team is very different. They're 20-10, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
They're going to oscillate between second and third in the West. You know, with the Warriors is what's funny is the Nuggets, but they're all there.
Well, the Warriors lost too.
Yeah. The same night. They're all there within a game of each other. And man, I don't know. This team's ceiling is growing by the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're first in defense still, 17th in offense. They're first in opponent turnover percentage too.
Yeah, that's not
just
surprising.
great.
They are just a nightmare with their length. Like,
yeah,
they just are all over the place.
And they're 23rd in effective field goal percentage. Just great. So, couple stats.
Bring them.
The 2 most used lineups for the Thunder are the starters, and then minus Terrence Ferguson, insert Dennis Schroeder. And so with both lineups, they're a plus 16 on the season.
Each,
both of them are.
Wow.
Plus 16.9 for the starters, and then plus 16.7 for the
closers,
the Schroeder lineup for the closers, right? And they play very differently. So the starting lineup, their defensive rating is 95.5.
Okay,
which
that's crazy.
If you don't know what that means, so per 100 possessions, the opponents are scoring only 95.5 possessions. Or 95.5 points per 100 possessions, which is that's elite. There's no team that has that rating. The Thunder are at like a 101 right now as a whole. So that's an incredible defensive lineup. And you can see that, like that passes the eye test. You know, you have Terrence Ferguson, who's played incredible defense. You have Russell that's locked in. You have Jeremy Grant and Steven Adams. It's an incredible lineup. And then offensively, they're a 112.8, which is good. It's better than what
they're
the team
a
is
plus
overall.
17 basically.
Yeah, plus 16.9 on the season. And then with Schroeder in, their offense is a 123.
Whoa.
On the season. This is the second most played lineup for the Thunder. And their defensive rating is a 106.4, which isn't great, but they are just scoring whenever they want to.
But even that 106.4 isn't that bad of a defensive rating.
Yeah, it's like average.
Now, do you have, as far as minutes played together, like what lineup of those 2 is playing the most together?
Those are the most used lineups.
So
for the Thunder.
Second would be the one with Schroeder. So they're keeping Ferguson in there. That's unfair because Schroeder, probably 3rd or 4th on those lineups is probably I'm assuming some of those Schroeder lineups where he's running point guard by himself.
And the starters are playing the first 7 minutes of the game and the first 7 minutes of the third quarter.
Yeah,
together.
that's basically the minutes that Terrence is playing.
Yeah,
only.
because I think that's the kind of general idea. I don't, and I can just look it up. But what are Schroeder's minutes so far this year?
He's playing like 30 minutes a game.
Yeah, I think he,
and he should. That shouldn't.
Yeah,
go down.
he's been that good.
Yeah,
he's holding up on the defensive end. He's making threes. He's getting to the basket. He's creating for others. The offense is so unpredictable.
God, it's so much better with him.
Oh my goodness. Isn't it crazy? If you would have said before the start of last season, if you would have said, hey, would you rather have Carmelo or Dennis Schroeder? Like everyone would have been like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
It's Melo. Like you obviously you want to have Melo. How can you play Dennis Schroeder with Russell Westbrook? How can you do that?
You can't.
You can't do that.
Can't.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Turns out it's really good.
It's really good. 123.
Yeah,
in
that's
a
crazy.
not a small sample.
Right. It's
Like,
been a minute now.
Like there's enough there, which is crazy.
So what's crazy to think, just looking at Schroeder's numbers here, is how close he is to really some of the best seasons of his career in almost every statistical category.
Yeah.
He's shooting. So right now he's shooting 33.9% from the 3-point line. He was 34%, and a couple years ago 35%. But that's just kind of where he is as far as his average. But the other thing is he's only playing like a minute and a half less per game than he did ever in his career.
Yeah, and he's been a starter for 3 years now. Before this year.
Well, and that's what people were talking about is how is Schroeder going to really handle not being the starter anymore? It's like he is only not the starter in like name. He plays.
Right.
I'm assuming he plays as many minutes as anybody outside of
he's the fifth
the
starter.
big four, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Grant, Steven, Paul George, and Russ all have the 4 top minutes on the team, and then Schroeder, without question, has got to be fifth.
Right.
16, 4, and 5 is Dennis's line on the season
great.
with a steal.
You feel like such a homer saying like all these awards could go to all these Thunder players. You know what I mean?
This is 6th man of the year stat line.
I know. And it makes you're like, oh, we got the MVP on the team. We got the defensive player of the year. We've got maybe even the coach of the year. We've got all the.
That's not going to happen.
But it's all legit.
People still don't think Billy Donovan's any good.
People are dumb.
I know. Yeah.
The Jump is. I am glad that the Jump actually are smart about stuff, though.
Yeah.
And because they said Tracy McGrady has been great, man. Tracy's good.
Yeah,
I really like Tracy, and he actually watches basketball. You can tell. But he mentioned he gave Billy Donovan props and said like there's clearly a difference from this year to last year.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. If the Jump do it, then other people are like, oh, I guess it's okay to say that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So just going back and finishing the point I had just a second ago. So yeah,
Sorry.
Schroeder. No. Just because it took me.
Sorry,
you helped me find it. So Schroeder is leading. He's the 5th in minutes played by like eight minutes a game.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Hey guys, you know what else is great?
that may be your best transition ever.
Anthem beer.
Did we just say something was great?
Shut up. Shut up. It's great.
It's good.
Anthem beer is the best.
What else plays a lot of minutes?
Anthem beer. A lot of minutes in your tummy because it's so good. Hey guys.
You know who else is the 5th most minutes played
Oh
for
my
the
gosh.
Thunder?
Anthem beer. Hey guys, this weekend, if you have some family in town for the holidays, you know where you should take them to Anthem Tap Room.
Have you ever thought about getting into jingles?
Jingles? I have. And here's my first one for Anthem. Hey, Anthem beer. There it is.
Oh,
Boom.
Oh,
Million.
Oh.
Boom. Send me my check, Anthem. That's a million G's. All right.
What are you talking about, man?
A
But guys-
million thousand?
A million thousands.
Oh my God.
Guys, take your family to the tap room this weekend when they're in town. That's where they.
not your children though.
No, you can take them too.
You
They just have
stay
to.
outside.
They just have to wait outside, but they can watch you have a great time. And you know,
They can swatch you do anything.
isn't that what the holidays is all about? But there at the end of Tap Room, they're going to have special mixes unavailable anywhere else. Go there and you'll see what we're talking about. They're so good. We love them. If Anthem beers was
He's
a
keep-
beautiful,
he's just keeping going.
if Anthem beer was a beautiful woman, I'd kiss her on the lips. Instead, I just have to drink the beer liquid
With her approval.
with her approval. Oh my god,
Come on.
absolutely.
Yeah. So the other thing, they do have.
Oh my gosh! Like I'm just gonna release just Luke just talking.
They
That's all I'm gonna
they
release.
just
today.
delete everything.
Everything else.
They
is
do have
being cut
a
out.
couple special beers. Obviously, the Rider IPA is the one that's the kind of seasonal one. They do have their Ouroboros, which is a year-round beer IPA. They have their Pilsner. They've got obviously Golden One Arjuna. They have a ton of selections. If you're kind of a newbie to the beer world, they'll have some stuff that will really sweet you. If you love heartier beers, their Ouroboros is a great stout. Anyway, there's something for anything. And like Luke said, is if you go to their tap room, you will find just some unique concoctions that will really take care of you. So go there this holiday season. If you got a Christmas break because you're in college, run on over there. I think they open. What do they open at 4 o'clock at the tap room?
Hey, get on to a Lime scooter. Scoot on over there.
Scoot on over there.
Get into an Uber and have someone else drive you on over there.
Limes are great, by the way.
They're fun. I do enjoy them as much as I don't wish they didn't exist. They're nice.
They are.
But not as nice as Anthem beer.
All right, let's move on to Twitter questions.
that is the
Goodness.
longest ad. That's a double ad pay. Anthem.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
That was 5 minutes of ad right there.
100,000 G's. All right. Our first Twitter question comes from @the_Sternlicht, who wants to know, will Paul George get MVP chance at the peak this season, or will fans be too worried about upsetting their 200 million man? I think this has already happened.
Yeah, I don't get the shade at the end of it really, but I mean, yeah, he'll get MVP chance.
I think this has already happened.
It's happened. I mean, not like to
for Paul George,
not for the whole crowd. I mean, there's like a few people that have chanted it, but not the whole crowd.
happened.
Sunday night,
I think
Thunder back
that they're-
home, play
I think,
the Timberwolves.
I think it's gonna happen.
if he goes off,
yeah, people are
going
Come on,
to
people! If you're
freak.
going to the game,
Yeah.
Start it.
get one started. He deserves it.
Give him but if he has a great defensive game, give him the DPOY chant, which is just as iconic, right?
DPOY.
I think you just yell "Depoy."
DPG Oi.
But then when do you chant it?
Huh?
When he makes a great defensive
Just
stand.
after
When
a
he
great
steals
steal.
it and he dunks it. DPOY.
MVPG.
DPGOY.
DPG Oi. MVPG 13.
It really rolls.
It
off
really
the tongue.
does. It really does.
MIPG.
So one of the things that is a little bit frustrating about this is, and I know I'm not saying Austin Sternlicht is trying to do this, but there is this tone where it's like, dude, Russell Westbrook is all in for Paul George being dominant.
I mean, he has to be.
Yeah, like he wants Paul George to be incredible. So if he gets MVP chance, like who's going to be one of the most hyped people in the gym for that? Russell Westbrook.
Russell
That's
might
true.
start it actually.
Yes. Like he is so jacked about how well Paul George is playing. and
You know
has
why?
to be.
Because he actually likes him too.
That helps.
They're
And he-
friends.
And he trusts him.
Hey guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from @BenElephantKing, who wants to know, if a second Russell Westbrook teammate wins MVP, will the collective collapse of national media narrative destroy the universe?
I just like the question.
Well, this is different because KD got his MVP the year Russ was out most of the year.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this would be way different if Russ is actually playing and averages a triple double,
And
and his teammate gets MVP.
Wouldn't that be just nuts?
Nuts in all of our butts.
Because he's averaging. Goodness. All right. See ya. 20, 10, and 10. Right now, Russell.
Yeah.
Well, I muted the wrong person.
you did me. What I did to you? Man,
Yeah.
that'd be great. I would love that.
At the lowest usage he's had, and
Yeah, it's still a high usage rate. Like, let's be
Right,
clear.
right.
Like, it's like 34, which is a high usage rate. But yeah, it would be great. I still have a hard time believing that it'll happen.
no. I mean,
But I think thinking about it, it would be cool.
You know what though, guys? This was our conversation at the start of Russ's MVP year.
I
just so
know.
you know.
I know
It was the
that.
same thing. It was like, I don't think it'll happen,
I
but it would be pretty cool.
But I will
have
say-
to keep playing this well.
Yeah.
But I will say that a lot of that also was narrative based. The Russell Westbrook one was also kind of a middle finger to KD. He also played out
Well,
of his mind.
It was like that Denver game.
It was a combination of a ton of things.
The Denver game was like the sealer for it because he got the triple double record. They were going to lose that game. That game, if they played it 100 times, they lose it 99.
What do you have?
times.
53, 56 points, something like that.
He had a 50-point triple double that
Yeah.
night. He makes that
Hit the game
game-winning
winner.
shot. He was the story of the season. And so Paul has got to
Knock them out of the playoffs.
The Thunder would have. I think they'd have to be like the number 1 seed. I think that Paul would have to average over 30 points per game on the season.
Is anyone scoring that high this season?
Harden is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's not going to win this year.
I also don't know.
No.
If,
He'll win most valuable ballerina.
MVB.
Yeah.
If this was not basketball,
He just, it's just, anyway, let's,
We've already been over this.
yeah, we have.
Hey guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from Matthew C7673, who wants to know, would you consider Steven Adams a top 5 center in the league?
all right. So I did some research.
Oh,
Stats.
Not on I could provide stats, but most of the stats aren't really sufficient for Steven Adams.
They don't matter.
'Cause
Interpretations.
being your team fourth, everybody else on this list is your team's first option.
Yeah.
Like everybody else that I would consider a top 5 center. Steven is your team's literally 4th option on scoring.
Yeah.
So, I'd say maybe 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. So I took a list that Bleacher Report put out before the season started, the top 15 centers. I'm going to give you the top 10. I don't think their ranking is correct, but I'm going to give you a list of guys, and I want you to tell me if you would prefer Steven Adams over.
So is this fit or is this in a vacuum?
I think vacuum.
Okay.
Yeah, just top 5 centers.
Top 5 centers.
So I think number 1, 2, and 3 are
Hitler.
solidified. Centers.
Saddam Hussein.
Top 5. Wow.
And Hillary.
And Hillary in her emails.
So top 3. I don't know how this. I
Top
do know.
5 terrible sinners. do.
Hillary Clinton's emails.
So I think the top 3 are their own echelon. I don't think there's any conversation about the top 3. Number 1.
Okay.
This is fun. I did a lot of work on this, and
Come on, Jay. Just
Sorry.
get this
No, I'm
started.
not doing
Sorry,
it. I'm
sorry,
done.
Started,
I'm
Jay.
done.
We're waiting on you, Jay.
Jay,
I'm upset.
We're waiting on you to start.
Don't
So
be
top
upset.
3.
Okay, go.
Anthony Davis.
I prefer him.
Yeah.
Yes, these are the best 3 centers in the league, and they're way better. Yes.
Okay.
Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, and Jokic.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3,
Okay.
and they stand in an echelon above themselves. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then you get to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I'm just going to list some guys, and you're going to tell me. And let's just say maybe just even this season, is he a top 5 center?
This season. Okay.
Rudy-
Just for this season.
Rudy Gobert,
I'd rather have Steven
Steve.
Adams.
Yeah, not this season.
Karl Anthony Towns.
I'd rather have Steven Adams this season. Going forward, I would rather have Cat, but
His defensive problems,
Are a problem.
it's a problem.
Yep.
But he's
he could be the
second or
best.
3rd best offensive center. in
He's
the league.
he's so
I
good.
think-
yeah.
I don't know. I'm always all over the place with Karl Anthony Towns. Sometimes I watch
and if
him.
he
and I'm
played
just
for
like,
the, I
That's
mean,
because he's always all over the place.
if he wasn't with the Timberwolves,
I was gonna say if he played for the Thunder and had been playing for the Thunder the past 3 seasons, I think he'd be a much better.
because he
defender.
came out of
he'd be a
he-
good boy.
he came out of Kentucky with the expectation that he'd be a good defensive player.
I think if yes.
All right. So here's
Good
who.
boy.
Let me give you some guys that they had ranked. So they had Steve ranked preseason number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Capella.
No, I'd
Was-
rather have
was ahead
Steve.
of him.
Yeah.
This is the one that makes me the most angry. Drummond.
I mean, it's no question that I'd
Hmm.
rather have Steven Adams.
Al Horford.
I'd rather have Steven
Steve.
Adams.
Al's having a hard season because he's injured.
So is
He's
Steve
hurt.
5
He
right
hasn't
now
been good.
So
on our list.
he'd be 4 on our list.
That makes sense.
I think he's
So
played.
let me give you some other names.
Yeah.
Miles Turner.
Mm-mm.
Marc
been-
Gasol.
Hold on. Miles Turner is my
Dude, he's
my argument.
he has not played well until like the last week. Like, he
No.
has not been great most of the season.
He's been good this season. Like the past 3-4 weeks, he's been really good.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say to combat that
I'd rather have him over Steven Adams, though?
is that there are a
I
lot
would
of
just say this year,
intelligent people who are saying that the Pacers long term should choose Sabonis over Miles
that was
Turner.
that was
Oh,
definitely
really?
a conversation.
Absolutely.
okay, I'll still take Steve. Just wanted to put my argue out.
No, I
there.
know the answer to these, but I'm just telling you, these are the other guys out there that people were having these conversations about.
Mm-hmm.
I did say Marc Gasol.
Yeah, Marcus had a great season, but
Yes.
he's going to get hurt at some point.
Yes.
Marc Gasol.
What about Vucevic?
He's been good. He's been really, really good.
He's leading almost every statistical category for centers.
Yeah.
Actually,
He's awesome. He's sinning so much.
centers.
He's killed the most. He's
I mean,
lied the most.
I think the one that's in there that would be a part of it if it wasn't for the injuries. Obviously DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
What about Nurkic?
No, not even close.
What about Robin Lopez?
I don't know. Hey, what is up with Robin Lopez just completely letting himself go?
I love it. I don't know. He looks so crazy, and it
He
made me so
does.
happy.
I think he hates being the only stable person on that team, and it makes him unstable.
You think if somehow the Celtics got him, that he would immediately, fix himself up a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit?
he
Whoa,
looked like Brooke.
I feel like he's been like that for a couple years now, right?
He's always been sideshow
yeah,
Bob,
but
but his
he-
facial hair is what's gone
Yeah, it's
wild.
the facial hair that he is just in no care mode,
Yeah.
and it's bad. It looks bad.
You know, it looks good. Your haircut.
So according to what we just discussed, Adams would be the fourth best center in the NBA.
I think he's played that way this
I
year.
think he's top 5 for sure, because the only one in there that I could really say, at least this season, that is comparable or would be the questions, Karl Anthony Towns.
And I mean, you could say he's 4 through 6 because I think a lot of people would say Gasol has been better.
And people would also say Gobert just because of his career, but he's not
Yeah.
been very good this year.
He's not
So,
been
He
great,
has not
and he's been
good.
so mad,
He's been a mad
which
guy.
has been really fun.
Yeah.
He has
Mad.
been how Robin Lopez looks.
Yeah.
Mad.
Just angry, disheveled.
Yeah. Steve is 16 points, 10 boards, 1.6 assists, 1.4 steals, almost a block a game. He's been really, really good for this team. Really, really good. I wish he could shoot better free throws, 56%.
I feel like recently, though, man, he was 4-4 against the Kings.
56% is at the level where it's like, okay, like you probably shouldn't.
Is that
foul
better
him.
than Russell Westbrook shooting from the free throw line?
No,
It feels
Russ
like
is at 60 right now.
When he missed 5 in a row against the Kings, I was like, oh, this is...
It is funny you say that about Steve's free throws though, because in my head he's like, oh, he's probably 75%, and Russ is at like 30%.
I know.
Yeah, because when when Steven misses them, you're just like, yeah,
You
okay.
don't right. You don't even think about
When
it.
Russell misses them, you're like, oh my, he's missed all of them.
2 of 7 against the Kings.
He was 2 of 7. It was bad.
Jeez.
So, guys,
Emails.
let's move on to our next Twitter question. Okay, you got to signal me, man. You had so much information there. That's okay.
all you.
Next Twitter question comes from @Pepsi United, who wants to know: are you more impressed by Ferguson's defense or Grant's overall game this season?
Grant. I'm more
great
impressed
question.
by Grant. Grant has played within this team more than I've ever seen him play. He had 22 points the other night, and they kind of came out of nowhere. I'm used to knowing where all of Jeremy Grant's points are coming from, because one, they're either completely destroying an offense and he's getting a hard layup to go in, an and one, or a random 3. And now it's happening so much within the offense. It's just there. It's just 15 to 20 points.
I think Grant has been... Paul George obviously playing at the level that he is has been obviously a huge reason the Thunder are where they are. Hard for me not to think that Grant is as fundamental to the change in this team as Paul George's play has been.
I agree.
No question.
And defensively too, just how solid he's been.
Yeah, the fact that he can hit threes, the fact that you can go to him to create points, and that he's creating points off the dribble.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. He is so much better on both ends. I cannot emphasize what an upgrade he is over Melo. It's insane. because he's hitting threes better than Melo did for this team.
37% on the season.
He's obviously a better defender, and he was last year, but he's better this year on the defensive end than he was last season. His confidence is sky high, and he's a guy that is so good for the chemistry of this team. I don't even know if I can emphasize that enough because he is so great in the locker room for everybody. He made Russell laugh so hard the other night in the locker room, and I've never really seen that.
Really?
He's the guy that everyone in the locker room really loves. Is Jeremy Grant.
That makes me love him.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm in love.
He tapped me on the back one time. I mean, just saying.
Just to say hi, or
Well,
just
like-
get out of my way.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
No, we were standing. So you can go into the locker room. They open the locker room before the game, and you can go in there and awkwardly stand. And he walked by and tapped all the media people on the back. It's like, hey guys. Like, oh hey Jeremy.
It would be funny if he did the thing where he taps you on the shoulder, but it's the opposite shoulder.
He's
for
on
the
the
other
I
other
wouldn't
side.
be surprised.
So you're like, who did that? You turn over. Oh my
My-
gosh, it's
my
Jeremy.
best
friend,
Wow.
Jeremy. That's Jeremy Grant.
He's just a great guy, and not only on the court but off the court. I think that he's so helpful to the chemistry of this team, on and off the court. He's transformational to this roster in being a top 4 most important guy on this team. He's been so vital to their success.
Ferguson, and that's not to underrate the importance of Ferguson's defense.
No, he's been.
But
I mean, he
Grant-
makes but I think the footwork that Ferg has this season compared to last year, I mean, it's night and day. He's a guy that even the first 4 games of the season, I mean, he has been huge for this team, but he doesn't play as many minutes. His role isn't as big, and it's not a night in, night out thing for Ferg that he makes a massive impact, because not every night does he have to guard somebody that really matters. But Jeremy, I mean, every night he's helping this team win.
Yep.
It says Ferguson is 6'7". Can you attest to that? Do you feel like he's that tall when you see him in the locker
Yeah,
room?
he's tall.
Really?
Mhm.
6'7". That's pretty big.
He's tall. He's so skinny. So
That's why
skinny.
he doesn't look as big on the court, but
Yeah.
he might be a lot longer than I realize.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from @Kyle_E_Clark, who says Russ is averaging the lowest points per game total in his career since the 09-10 season. Is this a sign that Paul George is now the go-to scorer for the Thunder? Or is it just until Russ gets healthy / a better feel for the game again?
I think a lot of the reason Paul George is having the season he is because Russ is deferring to him constantly.
Good morning, everyone in Jay's house.
Yeah.
You're all now awake because there has been a murder.
No, I mean, it's a combination. Russ has not played well. I think
He's not
I
shot
said
the
this
ball
on
well.
Twitter.
He's
Think
played well. He hasn't shot the ball.
right. I think against the Kings was the most Russell-like game that I've seen him play since earlier in the season.
Thank you, De'Aaron Fox.
Yes, thanks for making him so angry. But I don't know.
Stupid.
I think it's hard to think. It's easy to because Russ took such a jump into the center of this team. It's hard to remember that, for the first 8 years, 9 years of his career, 8 years of his career, he was the second guy.
Yeah.
And he was seemed like relatively content with being who he was.
Yeah.
Having a team that won consistently. And it feels, watching this team, Russell has not shot well, granted.
Yeah.
But watching this team, you can tell that he is working his rear end off to be a part of what the team is wanting to do.
Yeah.
Versus just being Russ. And so I don't know, man. It doesn't have to be this correlation where it's like, so is Russ terrible and now Paul George is good? It's like, no. And I'm not saying that's the question that was asked, but it's that's a dangerous kind of narrative to let be a part of the conversation. And it's unfair because the reason that Paul George is the way he is this year is a lot of Russell Westbrook's help to get there.
You know what's funny about this Russ season is he is being the point guard that everyone wished he would have been forever. This is the first year that he's the leader of the team without being the scoring leader of the team.
Exactly.
Before it was KD, and then it was Russ, and Russ had to do everything, including scoring. And this is the first year that he's still the best player and still the leader of this team, and he's not the scoring leader of the team. And doesn't have to be.
It's a huge deal. He is what everybody has wanted him to be.
Yep.
Defending the way that people have wanted him to, facilitating all of it. I mean, he's deferring to Paul George. He's even deferring to Dennis Schroeder at times. They're giving the ball to Steven Adams more. I mean, it's a huge deal. It's a huge, huge deal. It raises the ceiling of this team tremendously.
And everyone's out there just eating their words. We got them wrong. They were wrong. We were right.
Mm-hmm.
Were we right?
We were right. We always said we
were
right.
right.
Hey guys, let's move on to our next Twitter
Like we've
question.
always said.
We're
right.
Like we've always said.
We've always said we're right.
Russell Westbrook will take a step back this season. We've all been saying that.
Yep.
But in taking a step back, he is taking a step forward. We are right.
We're right. Never wrong. Okay, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from at Snow E Leopard, who wants to know, how well does the Thunder defense match up against Golden State's offense? What about Adams versus Golden State Warriors D? Is it unreasonable to think the Thunder could realistically compete with Golden State in a playoff series?
I mean, it all hinges on what does Boogie look like.
Every single day, I forget Boogie Cousins is going to play for this team.
Because if he can play at any level of goodness, then Steven Adams doesn't matter quite as much.
No.
Because he mattered in seasons prior. Even in the 2016 playoffs, Steven was a huge part of that team almost getting to the NBA Finals. But if you have another big guy on the other side, because this isn't Zaza Pachulia. This is DeMarcus Cousins. I think that matters so much. As far as like the Thunder defense, it matches up well. I mean, you can match up man for man, but I think offensively is where it's like, okay, they can't really keep up. So if the Warriors had some kind of injury to a key player, it would have to be I don't know that it would be Draymond, but I think if it was Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, or KD, I think the Thunder have a chance. But full strength Warriors, I just don't think the Thunder have
with a healthy
good chance.
DeMarcus Cousins. I think the only real chance the Thunder have, if everyone's healthy and there's one person who's hurt, I think it's got to be Steph.
I think everybody. I think there's a lot of teams that have a chance if Steph's hurt.
Steph is the person that makes the Golden State Warriors.
I'd give the Nuggets a chance against them.
Yeah.
I'd give the Lakers a shot at them without Steph
and with AD on the Lakers
and the
at that
Thunder.
point.
Yeah, whatever.
They will.
Yeah, I think, but full strength Warriors, I just wouldn't give really anybody a chance.
And you're right. Like with DeMarcus Cousins on that team, Steve just can't suck the D in like he would have before.
Couldn't do it.
All right, let's move on to the next Twitter question now that Taylor's getting inappropriate. And it's from at Jared KW13, who wants to know, what is the biggest positional weakness on the team and who could OKC acquire to fill the hole?
Why do you want to keep acquiring people? People just like to acquire people, don't they?
Trades are fun, man.
Trades are fun. Taylor,
This is like not the time when I want to trade.
who do you want to fill the hole?
I want no one to fill my hole. I want no one to fill the hole.
But it's fun.
I think
People like it when you fill your hole.
Oh man,
That wasn't
the wrong
me.
person
That was
again.
me.
So I think the weakness, if you're looking for one, is the shooting guard still. I mean, you can't count on T. Ferg scoring every single night. His defense has been great. I just don't know that you can go and find somebody that's going to be much better than he is this season on the trade market without having to give up something significant.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. And trade who?
I mean, you'd have
trade what?
you'd have to trade potential.
Because all you'd be doing is trading. So at this point with this team, if you're trading to get a better shooting guard, you're now creating another hole that has to be filled by some other man.
Yeah, that's true.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I just don't know that there's like necessarily a huge weakness on this roster overall.
The only thing I even mentioned, and you probably talked about this, sorry I had to step away for a second, but it's a backup.
It's a backup four.
Yeah, stretch four.
Yeah.
I would only give it a shot if it was somebody, and you mentioned it a long time ago. But if the Suns are in this place where they don't know what they want to do with Dragon Bender, I don't think he's great.
He's not good at all.
But, is there a chance that he could be another guy that the Thunder took in as kind of a reclamation project?
I would guess in the offseason, because they declined his 4th-year option. He'll be a free agent. Nerlens leaves.
If you want to use part of your...
No, he'd be a minimum. There's no way.
Well, I didn't know
more
if
than
another
a
team
minimum.
would maybe jump in and try to do something, but...
I doubt it.
Anyway, I mean, I think for me, I just remember the one game against the Thunder where last year he had
he was good for that one time.
Yeah, that one game. So I don't know. I just think, and really the other thing to remember about this is getting another stretch 4 would be helpful in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But the playoff rotations shrink. Everybody plays more minutes. Jeremy Grant is who you want on the floor.
And Patterson can start hitting shots. I know everybody's completely out on Patterson, but they could start hitting shots.
He hit a beautiful corner 3 against the Kings.
That was his 500th 3 for his career.
Only took 15 years.
Well, everybody hates him so much.
Gotta hate somebody.
pissed at him
There's
right
always going to be somebody
Gotta
during
hate
the
somebody.
season that you hate.
Yes, there's always somebody on the roster every single year that you just have to irrationally hate.
Mhm.
Singler soaked up all the hatred for years.
Yeah, which was fine.
And now it's Patrick. It's always somebody that makes $5 million that you're like, man,
We'll start hitting shots and I'll like you again. How about that, buddy?
He's 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, 1 of 4 total. I mean, it's fine.
That's terrible.
he's defending.
Given the last 4 weeks, that's terrible.
Given the last 4 weeks, it's actually awesome.
Actually, yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay, all in all, it's terrible.
He's been defending well enough.
He's fine.
Yeah,
People still guard him at the 3-point line.
They get him out of here. Trade him for Bradley Beal or something.
Yeah, can we trade him? That's what
people want.
People want
us to trade all our bad people and get great players.
Yeah, Sam Presti has made people believe that the impossible is possible.
I know. The reason that we
So
keep having the
good.
interference is because you're on Instagram.
Yes,
I'm looking at pizza.
Just looking at pizza, man. Gotta figure out what he wants for lunch. Hey guys, our next Twitter question comes from @Jax_Row, who wants to know if you had to guess, is OKC going to A, trade Abrines, B, extend Abrines, C, let him walk in free agency, or D, re-sign him in free agency?
I would guess they'll re-sign him in free agency.
What do you think?
About what he's at now. He's making about 5 right now. I can't see. I don't see him making a whole lot more than that. If he continues to be inconsistent, if he somehow catches fire the rest of the season, they may try to extend him. And maybe he goes. I don't know. I think it's too difficult to predict right now because he is playing so inconsistently. But if I were to predict, I would guess he'd go to restricted free agency. He may get an offer sheet, 3 years, $18 million, maybe. And then the Thunder match it. That would be my guess.
Shooters are at
that'd
a
be all right.
premium. Shooters are at a premium in the restricted free agent market.
Are they?
Yeah.
So what was Jeremy Grant?
JJ Redd got $22 million
For 1 year. I mean, then no one's going to pay.
No.
$22
I know. But any shooting wing, I feel like, is at a premium.
Yeah.
What was Jeremy Grant last year? Was he restricted free agent? That's what I've been doing for 7 years.
I think he was unrestricted.
Yeah, I just feel like
Yeah.
I think the Thunder still value Alex.
I mean, yeah, they do. I know Sam does.
And so I don't know. I just feel like I don't think they'll extend. It doesn't feel like they're going to extend him this year.
They can do it at any point in the season.
Yeah.
So,
But I could
Who
definitely see
knows?
them just getting into free agency and then just negotiating and saying, "Hey, here's what we're going to do," or if you do want to go test the market.
you might want to see what he does in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah.
To
you
see,
have the whole season.
is he a part of the playoff rotation? I think that's a question that you can ask, and I don't know the answer.
I think so. He was the first one off the bench when Schroeder was out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that gives you a great idea of his playoff, but I think even looking last year against the Jazz, Alex was in the playoff rotation pretty heavily.
Yeah, this team is different though.
It is. They
because
were
Ferguson
super
was
desperate.
not.
Hey, just in case it makes you feel any better, over the last 9 games, Patterson's shooting a whopping 15% from the 3-point line.
See? It's a lot worse than what you thought.
So
Oh no.
part of it is unfair, though. he was 1-3, and he only had 2 shots against the Bulls. He had no shots against the Clippers, 2 shots against the Nuggets. Like, he hasn't shot more than 1 or 2, but twice or 3 times. So.
I think Jay is just now wanting Patterson to shoot the ball more.
No, I just think now
I think
I'm
if he had more shots, he
now
could go 1
no,
for
but
7.
what's going to happen now is I'm like, now I want him to really turn it around just so I can come back next week and just be like, hey, Taylor, suck it.
That would hurt my feelings so
I
bad.
know.
We've been waiting for a while on Pat. I just don't think the hate is necessary.
When will you hate? 4 weeks?
Well, I don't know if I need to. Like, why do I have to hate him?
Well, I feel like maybe you've learned a lesson on early hate from Ferguson and Billy Donovan the first 3 weeks of the season.
For sure.
And now it's like, we can't. I'm not saying anything.
That's accurate.
Now follow me for a second on my Patrick Patterson thought. I don't think he's necessarily hurting the team.
I don't think he's hurting the team.
I think he's not helping the team in the way that he could. But just because you're not helping doesn't mean you're hurting.
Is that something you say a lot as a pastor?
That's a profound.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually not true as well. Isn't the saying usually like if you're not helping, you are hurting?
No, I don't. I think that's an unfair statement. Because if you look at Patrick Patterson, he's not hurting the team.
Something I do live by is you're either getting better or you're getting worse every day.
That's very Nick Saban of you.
You cannot stay the same. So is Patterson just getting worse?
I think he's staying the same.
You think? Do you really believe that?
Yeah.
I think that's probably true too.
That's a life motto. Is that a motto?
It's a
Yeah,
motto.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a mantra.
Yeah,
It could
be
be.
a mantra.
It could be how whatever word that goes with your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, do you use it when your chakras are open? Then I would say it's a mantra.
Excuse me?
Your sixth chakra.
What?
I literally get confused every time.
Astrology.
Drop.
He's right. All right, guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from at Trav_is_funny, who wants to know the worst reaction to saying thick daddy out of context. His wife, who is not a listener, was pretty grossed out when he referred to the biggest slice of pizza as a thick daddy slice.
I don't know that I use it outside of basketball.
I don't either. Maybe I do.
Hmm.
But I just love that question so much that I wanted
Yeah.
to give it a moment.
And
I've called people thick daddy.
yeah, I've never had a bad response.
Are they people that listen to the podcast?
No.
Because I
Yeah.
think if I walked down the street and I saw a person, they said, "You're a thick daddy," they would think I was a weirdo.
Dang, that's a thick daddy.
Like, look at this thick daddy.
Have you ever used Thin Lizzy? Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy.
I do like using it for food purposes.
I know now I will.
Thick daddy slice.
Hey, bring that ribeye over here. It's a thick
That's
daddy.
a thick daddy. Yeah.
like the biggest present under the tree? That's a thick
That's
daddy.
a thick daddy present.
Really thin, skinny presents. Thin Lizzies.
Thin Lizzy.
Perfect. That's appropriate. Please use it at Christmas.
Like you get a
listeners.
nerd rope. Thin Lizzy.
I love
Terrence Ferguson.
fully wrapping a nerd rope. It's very difficult, but worth it.
Fully wrapping?
Yeah, you wrap up the nerd rope and put it under the tree,
Oh.
just like everyone does.
Slap a label on that thing.
Do you not wrap your perishable foods as gifts underneath the tree?
Yeah, I pour out a can of beans and put it in some wrapping paper.
Do that. It's an avocado.
Next.
Next Twitter question comes from at Luke the Duke 4550, who wants to know from me specifically: would you rather never be able to drink beer again or never be able to watch a Thunder game again?
I mean, I think this is the most easy question.
I know. For us, not for Luke.
And now
Yeah.
gotta say goodbye to the Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured he would too.
And say hello to the beer. It just depends. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's the beer.
Not at all. It actually probably wouldn't change your life all that much.
It's like, oh, the 3 games you watch a season would.
It would hard to be. I would have to find other things to be social with people. Couldn't go to games. I guess I could go to the games. I just couldn't watch.
You just have to be turned
I
around.
turned
To be in the-
drinking beers.
You just had to hang
That'd
out in
be
the
fun.
concourse drinking.
That'd be fun. People watching.
People would hate going to games with you. They'd be like, Luke didn't let me watch the game. I don't know
had
why he
to sit
invited me to the
outside.
game.
Hey,
We just went to the Jack Daniels bar the whole time.
the Jack D's bar.
Spending $12 on
Yeah.
beers.
I spent a fortune. All right.
$12 Bud Lights. Get out of my face with that crap.
Yeah, go to
They're
hell.
not $12.
They're not 12.
8.
No, they're,
They're eight.
not.
They're
They're
eight.
4.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're
At
not.
Jack D's, maybe,
No.
maybe. But at the
No, not
at
ever
the Thunder
$4.
games, they're $4.
No,
They are
They're maybe
not.
6.
They're 8.
Dude,
No,
they're
they're
$8.
not. No,
The
they're
bottles, the aluminum bottles are
Oh, that's
$8.
because they're so tall. You're getting more bang for your buck.
No, the ones they poured. Do you remember when they used to pour them from the bottom?
There's no bang for your buck at a Thunder game.
Life hack.
Not one thing.
Life hack,
Unless you're
Taylor.
in the media. I guess.
Taylor, life hack us.
And then yes, there's
Life
no
hack.
bucks.
There's a new
Bring your own beers.
in
Life hack.
life hack.
Pocket shots.
Actually, my
shots, yeah.
brother and I have done that before. It works.
Taylor.
Seriously,
That's a crime.
Hey,
Illegal.
life hack. There is in the concourse of Loud City. There's like a little bodega or a little shop.
Bodega.
Yeah, I just say on Twitter.
Yay.
Bodega's on my Twitter timeline a lot from New York people. So I don't know what those little shops are called. Little shop,
Bodega.
bodega, and you can go buy cans of beer in there, and it's a little. You get some bang for your buck in there. I mean, as far as NBA games go,
You ever bought
Still
an,
really
you-
expensive.
You ever bought an unsanstash from a bodega?
Unsanstash.
Bodega unsanstash.
Wait, bodega isn't a trendy thing. A bodega is like
I don't even know what a bodega is.
What is it?
Small shop.
yeah, it's like a
It's
little
like a-
sandwich shop or like it's like
like a-
sandwich
it's a con-
shop with chips. It's like a
basically
convenience
it's
store.
a convenience store in New York.
Yes, convenience
Yes.
store in New York.
The
yes.
saying bodega is.
And they
Yeah, I
have
couldn't remember convenience store.
cats
Yeah, but
there.
nobody calls a convenience store convenience store. They always call it by the name.
7-Eleven,
That's very
right?
true.
On cue.
Hey, I'm gonna go to OnQ. I'm gonna go to the Shell. I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, but there
You're
aren't
so
any
right.
of those in New
Now I'm gonna
York,
start calling them
they're
bodegas.
All bodegas.
And our convenience stores are gas stations.
yeah.
True.
They're always gas stations.
I don't think I saw a single gas station in New York City.
I never see. I if I was always thinking like if I drove, where would I go to?
Where do you get
gas?
gas?
I don't know.
At the bodega.
You have to go buy bottles of gas at the
That's
bodega.
why. That's why public transportation, man.
Yeah,
You guys ridden the new one downtown?
No,
Neither
Mm-mm.
have I.
It's
it's
free.
packed.
It's free right now.
I would like to. I think ride the streetcar in Oklahoma City.
I would like to. I'm going to take that step back. I think.
Yeah,
I think
I would.
I don't want to.
And no.
I would. Will I? Probably not.
I will if it had a drop-off spot somewhere around here.
Like at your house.
Yeah, like down the street.
yeah.
of
It's
my
like
house?
you have
No.
to drive 30 minutes.
Yeah,
to
it's
get
like I have
on
to
the-
drive into downtown a mile from where I want to land,
Hey, man,
like ultimately, and jump on a streetcar.
Yeah,
It's gonna
David
take 20
Holt.
minutes.
Come on, man.
They're trying, man. They're trying.
oh yeah. Hey, one small step for OKC.
One large step for Mayor Holt.
Yeah. Hey guys,
David Holt.
I got one more question.
David
for
Holt had
ya.
nothing to do with this, by the way.
No,
He's
he
taking
knows.
all the credit.
I
You
don't-
kidding
I
me?
don't think.
Get out of here, David Holt.
Wow.
I just decided to.
Well, it's kind of like Mick Cornett taking all the thunder for the credit for the Thunder when Kirk Humphries, Ron Norick, like
did
all
it,
of our
man.
mayors have.
Wow,
Done some
guys,
things.
you guys are so miffed and peeved about
Yeah.
OKC politics, and we're not even to miffed and peeved yet.
I just want to pick a fight.
Well, before I ask you what your guys are already talking about, I want to talk about Oklahoma Shirt Company. They are great. They support us. We support them. And
They are great.
if you have any t-shirt printing needs for any events that you have, that is where you need to go. If you just have an idea, they can make that idea a reality. They also have their Shirt of the Month Club, $10 a month. Get you a new Oklahoma themed shirt every month. If you live in another
Arkansas,
state,
Missouri, Kansas, Texas. They also have those.
they have
shirt
those Shirts of the Month Club. Just for signing up, your first $10, you get an introductory shirt for free. $10 plus shipping and handling. Oh my gosh. If you need a quick Christmas gift, you can go by their store. They have past shirts of the month.
Yep.
Still $10.
Any apparel needs you do have, call them. They also do have some special holiday shirts. So check them out, OklahomaShirtCompany.com. Support the people that support Down to Dunk.
Oh, yeah. Guys, I have one more question for you. And it is this: are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and Peeved.
What's up, y'all? You miffed and peeved?
I'm a little miffed and peeved.
Jay, it's the holiday season.
I know, but my dog
You're being a
is
Scrooge.
frustrating.
Being a
My wife had to
Grinch.
deal with it, and so poor my wife. But
My wife.
but she my dog, he just gets random things to eat, and he just eats them and then throws up everywhere. And so he's found like the fake snow underneath one of our Christmas trees, ate it, threw up everywhere last night. Found some tissue paper on one of my and it's funny because he's like, my dog doesn't do really anything bad, but it's like we left him in the house for too long and he just starts eating stuff and then throws it up all over the house.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad.
So last night at like 11:30, which I get up for this at 5:30. So at 11:30, my wife is just raging mad in the bedroom cleaning up all of my dog's throw up, and I'm just like, oh. And then I get upset because I'm like, I'm trying to sleep, and then I realize like I can't be a jerk when she's doing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What color was it?
I don't know. I was asleep until I wasn't.
Yellow.
That's a
Prediction.
weird question.
Color? What color did your dog?
That's
throw
a
up?
good prediction.
Thanks.
Andrew, what you miffed and peeved, man?
Yeah, I dropped my phone and freaking broke my dongle yesterday.
Are you serious?
Oh no!
What's your dongle? What do you mean?
Well,
My dongle.
The good thing is that's only I found it on Amazon now. It's only $8.99. Used to be like $20.
Oh.
why is that even $8.99
Yeah.
though?
It's a thing
like
that
this
is less than
It's-
2 inches long.
It's so I'm
Because you need it.
so I'm really glad I have this phone, but I hate that I have to have a dongle.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating.
It's just another one of those things that Apple's trying to force everybody to go wireless. That's what they're doing.
They're trying to force us to spend money.
Your little 2-inch.
Well, it's the same
dongle.
thing. So you can't get an HDMI cord anymore. Like, so I bought a brand new Mac for church, and it doesn't have an HDMI out on it. It has their
It's-
little mini
dude,
display
it's
port crap. It makes me
crazy.
insane.
Yeah,
you have to
that's
get
nuts.
another adapter.
It's money.
It is.
It's money.
It like doesn't even have. It has what, one USB or no USB?
It has 2 USBs, and then it has a whole bunch of their style, like Thunder and Lightning.
I was so mad when the Mac I got didn't have a floppy disk
I know.
inserter.
man.
I miss
know.
those.
Space
Floppies.
Cadet.
You miffed or peeved, Taylor?
Yeah, man. These mayors taking credit for things they had nothing to do with. It's pissing me off.
freaking mares.
I don't think David Holt has ever taken credit for this.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Because
I
he's
saw
out there a
him.
lot. He's talking about it a lot. I think
That's
he's
what he's supposed to do.
Uh-huh. Well, how about you take credit for something you're actually doing?
I think that
How about
He's been
that?
mayor for
I
like
think
8 months.
Well, I don't see anything change. All I see is Mayor Cornette stuff coming to life.
Man, I think that you're probably wrong for this. I think he's just supposed to be there. I think that the people are like, "Hey, you got to be there."
I don't know. It's a little much. I think he could chill out a little bit. I think he's like indirectly letting people give him credit. It's pissing me off, man.
That's just
It's
the
not
game,
fair.
man.
I like him.
That's
I
just
think
how-
he's awesome.
That's just how the
He's
game is
fantastic, man.
played.
You guys are getting played, doggies.
God, what you're so political, Taylor. Guys, I'm
Stick to
miffed.
sports, bro.
I'm miffed that I'm sitting here with a bunch of Grinches when it's the holiday season
I love
and
Christmas.
you're about to be a bunch of Scrooges.
Yeah, I mean, literally the
Christmas.
segment is miffed and peeved.
You guys have a favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, I do. I do. It's
have
called
too many of them, actually.
Muppet Family Christmas. It's where the Muppets get together at Fozzie's mother's house and they invite the people from Sesame Street and they have a Christmas together.
Oh, that sounds kind of sweet.
Interesting.
And they also have Fraggle Rock there.
I have 3 that are my go-tos.
Okay, go.
Elf,
Yep. Christmas Vacation.
Home Alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those are staples.
Those
That's-
are
Is there any Christmas
I
movie
can't
that,
rank one of them
that you
above the
don't
other.
like that everybody else likes?
Christmas Story.
Really?
I don't like Christmas Story either.
It's good.
There's just it's
It's fine. It shouldn't be on 24 hours a day.
the fact that it's on 24 hours a day makes me feel like the movie is 6 hours long.
I know.
You know what? They did a good job naming it The Christmas Story. I think
it's
that's why.
fine.
It's
I
on
think
all
it's
the
just
time.
overrated.
Yeah.
How about that? I'll just say that it's overrated.
Wow.
They named it properly.
What's yours? You got any ones that everybody else likes and you don't?
I don't know.
You know
No,
what take
I'm,
I
I'm-
hate?
I'm too easily entertained.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
that's
with you
very
on that.
true. I hate that when people are like, hot take, I don't like Elf. It's like, okay, that's everyone's popular hot take.
Is that a
right
hot?
now.
Do people say that? How could you not like
Who doesn't
Elf?
like
Dude,
Elf?
people
It's the same
people like
people that
to
don't-
announce they don't like Elf.
It's the same.
So
It's
annoying.
the same
Uh.
people that don't think Hideaway's a good pizza.
I never. By the way, I need to clear the air on this. I never said Hideaway isn't good. I said Hideaway
felt
is
that way.
third
It
on the
felt that way.
list.
Yeah.
I said Hideaway is the
You
best.
trashed it and then said, I think it's third.
I said Hideaway is the best. Is the best
Is the
normal
best
pizza you can get.
Box chain. It's like Domino's and Hideaway. That's
Yeah.
what you said.
I will say this though. I was informed that upper crust frozen dough.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
still good.
But I was informed
What about the holiday? Do y'all like the holiday?
I don't think I've ever
The-
seen
That
it.
one's way too popular to me.
the holiday.
It's
It's
got
not a-
Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
and-
kind of
it's like
pizza is
barely
on-
a Christmas
barely.
movie. I wouldn't
guys-
call it a Christmas.
What about
movie.
Family Stone?
I've never seen it.
You know what I'm not wild
good one.
about?
That's
You know
pretty
what
good.
I'm
I've
not
seen it. It's
wild
okay.
about?
No.
Is the people that are like, hey, Die Hard is
I
a Christmas movie.
Hate
It's like,
that.
oh my gosh. I was
yeah.
like, okay,
out
guys,
on that.
we get it. We
That's-
get the past. I've been on Twitter for the last 5 years. I get it.
Yeah,
That's almost as bad as a hot dog's a sandwich.
yeah. Just people.
It's almost kind of like, oh, the Olympics are a sport.
Yeah.
It is that. Actually, it is that.
I haven't,
It
seen,
is.
I haven't seen anyone else make that argument but me, and I'm right.
see,
were you
but
gonna
it's
say?
just
Trying
as
to think of
annoying.
what other
It
Christmas
is.
movies do I love?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
it's
it's a
just
good one, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So here's crazy story. I had never seen that 2 years ago.
Really,
Never saw it.
I kind of wish I was you because I wish I could
And
experience.
I mentioned it.
as
I
you.
mentioned it in a sermon that I'd never seen it, and someone from my church, she showed up the next week and she
Said,
just
go
like,
to hell.
She said, "This is your copy."
Yeah.
Take it home.
You mentioned it in the sermon. Never seen it.
No, because I was talking about Christmas and how. Anyway, I don't want to. I'm not going to rehash. What
Do
I
you
was
do that
preaching
every
on.
time you haven't seen
Yeah.
a movie?
You know what? I've never even owned a Mercedes Benz. Somebody showed up. Showed up with the car. I never even had a private jet.
Hey, some people
This is yours.
Some people from those mega churches do that.
They do
And some people are
exactly
like,
what
I've
they
never
do.
had 2 private jets.
Right.
They really push the
It's for
envelope.
ministry. It's for ministry.
Great. Like, how am I going to be able to spread the word if I can't get there in style?
Gosh, man, now I've got to think about what other Christmas movies are out there. What's the most recent?
Hey,
Any
There
good ones
hasn't been.
recently?
There
The
was
Grinch.
a
The new-
Grinch that came
The
out.
new Grinch,
Is it? Did
and
you
it was
see
good. Yes, it
the
was great.
cartoon, so good.
It was really.
Is
good.
it?
Yeah.
I love the Grinch. I mean, I love the story. of
Oh,
the
Love
Grinch.
Actually. I freaking love Love Actually.
I don't know that I've ever seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix. Don't watch it
Yeah.
with your children. It's not a children's movie. Just a heads
Hey
up.
kids, gather
Scrooged. I like Scrooge.
Scrooge
Scrooge
is
is
great.
funny.
Polar Express also.
around. It's good. We
enjoyed
watched that
one.
last night. Made hot chocolate.
Oh man, that's Christmas right there.
Oh,
Man.
man, that's Crema.
Jingle all the way.
With
I don't
Arnold.
know. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
I like Four Christmases.
Turboman.
Turbo Man.
All right, we can end this podcast.
No, I
on this.
like
Guys,
it.
no,
Hey,
it's
Yeah,
Crema.
no,
I will say
we're
this.
talking about
It's
Crema.
Crema.
Okay.
Tomato Grinch.
Batman Returns.
to all of our
Yeah,
to,
don't be that guy.
to all of our fans, Merry Christmas.
For real,
Happy
Crema.
holidays. Have a great New Year's. We'll be back next Friday.
for sure. And you know what?
hope.
We're bringing an extra Christmas present next week.
Is it Al Baby Cakes?
We're having Now Baby Cakes live Wednesday pod, and he'll be on the podcast on Friday.
Hey, can we come and just watch your Wednesday pod?
Yeah.
What is Christmas is on Tuesday, right?
What's
on
Evil
Tuesday.
Santa Claus called?
Evil
Bad Santa.
No.
Krampus.
No, Bad Santa's good.
Oh,
Krampus.
Krampus.
yes.
Krampus.
Hey, I will say this. This is
Great.
what's what also is a great Christmas present. The Thunder play Saturday night in Utah. Then they play back to back on Sunday evening here against Minnesota. And then on Christmas, they play at Houston without Chris Paul because
Yeah.
he pulled his hamstring, and
That
they
was
say it's going
nice.
to be a long time.
That was awesome. It was very exciting. And they lost to the Heat last night without. They don't have Goran Dragic.
I thought they were back.
They're not back.
Christmas with the Cranks. Tim Allen, Jamie Lee
Yeah, I've
Curtis.
seen that.
That's pretty
What
good.
about the
That's one
Santa,
of my
what
wife's
about
favorite.
the Santa Claus?
Oh, the Santa
Yeah.
Claus is really good.
1, 2, or 3.
All of them.
The Escape Clause.
Love the escape clause.
The escape. Yeah.
They're actually the sequels are not as bad as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
No, they're good.
Mayor Holt, do something already.
No, what are you talking about, man?
And a good mayor.